Welcome back to the Caspa Silver YouTube channel. If you guys are new around here, please consider leaving a like on the video after watching it and also subscribing to the channel. Today's video, I want to talk about some concerns of an individual in my comment section and an email that I got about just a couple concerns some people had on Caspa, and I'm basically just going to cover it and debunk all these concerns. So if you guys ever see this online, these claims that are completely false, you guys will know exactly how to handle it. And if anything, you will just go straight to this video so that we can cover exactly all the details. So to start off, the first comment that I got was this comment a couple days ago. So it said, I did a warning piece this morning, but got so much hate, I deleted it. What do you mean? What was the warning? Did a depth dive into Caspa and found a bag of lies, and I can almost 99% prove Bitmain, aka the Chinese government, owns all of Caspa. They have been pumping it. They are using it to funnel money of American retail investors. It is another Bitmain special. Here's why. They claim no ICO, no VC. I found a $40 million ICO on Gate.io, and with that, you gotta think communists own it and cover their tracks. Okay, well, the spelling in this is it's kind of bad, but okay. First off, the reason why this is already debunked is this phrase right here where it says they're using it to funnel money of American retail investors. Retail's not even spelled right, but either way, this person probably doesn't speak English first language, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But American retail investors really can't even buy Caspa. The majority of Americans cannot even buy Caspa. The majority of Americans don't even know about Caspa yet because of how new it is. And there's no major USA exchange that lets you buy it and send it to your own wallet. The only major exchange is Uphold, and we just got Uphold like last month. So, the claim that they're funneling money out of American retail investors is already just false. The other claim, I can almost 99% prove Bitmain, aka the Chinese government, whatever. Again, I don't have any evidence of this. He just has a claim that he could prove it, but he doesn't show how he could prove it. The only thing that I found evidence of is the $40 million ICO receipt, which the $40 million ICO receipt is not even an ICO receipt on Gate.io. This comment is just completely all over the place, and it's kind of funny because if you go to the video, I'm pretty sure this comment won't even pop up because for some reason YouTube like blocked it. I'm not sure why they blocked this comment, but the funny thing is, I found this comment and I was like, okay, well, let's take a look at this. This is what the dude's talking about: a $40 million receipt on Gate.io. You know what this was? This was the startup free offering listing that we got on Gate.io. That what happened? Which this came out in March of this year. So this guy is mistaken that he doesn't understand that a VC and no ICO, those stuff happens at the launch of the coin. This Gate.io is an exchange listing that happened on March 3rd. And then his claims are also that supposedly Bitmain got a majority of the supply or whatnot. There was a comment like this on CoinMarketCap that someone was talking about a Gate.io listing. Literally, if you go to Google and you search up Caspa ICO Gate.io, this pops up. But this is not an ICO. This is what Gate.io does with new projects. You can see the receipt here, and then you get to see how many people actually entered into this. Over 14,200 people entered in. 13,700 people were actually qualified to enter in. And then look how much CAS was given per person. 280 Caspa was given to these people. That was like the average amount that was given to the 13,000 people was just 280 Caspa. So I'm not even sure what this dude's talking about that Bitmain, was able to acquire a lot of the supply. 40 million Caspa again is still not even a lot of the supply. We can always go to the block explorer and prove the top addresses, and literally you can see that Gate.io, yeah, they have a good bit of the supply, but they're an exchange. This is normal in cryptocurrencies. if you have a cryptocurrency, the top 10 people, the number one holder should not be a foundation, should not be the developers behind the crypto. It should be an exchange. If the number one holder is someone who's developing the crypto, they're probably scamming you and they're probably taking money out of the liquidity pool because they're probably a token. And usually tokens, the number one holders are the devs who are behind the project. Now, the second one was I got an email from a very concerned individual. It looks like they gave me 9 points, which not every single point is like a concern, but let's see here. So, like the first point, the Caspa project's core development team, including Polychain VC and other sanctioned insiders, played a significant role in its unfair community launch. Okay, so number one, this has already been debunked. I've covered this in multiple videos. We already know 100% that Polychain had about 3% of the total supply fairly, not unfairly, they fairly acquired it. And this has been addressed like multiple times in the past. This is gonna keep coming back up because people are new to Caspa, and then there's always people that are trying to figure out ways on why Caspa is a scam, why it's rigged, whatnot. But yeah, it was funded by Polychain. Polychain funded DAG Labs, which is a company that was innovating Caspa, was creating Caspa, but eventually DAG Labs was failing, so they decided to launch Caspa fairly to the public, and then since it was launched fairly to the public, there was a good amount of people who knew about Caspa. So anyone was free to mine it. The people who knew about it was free to mine it because it was community launched. And then, of course, DAG Labs was still a company, but they were slowly dissolving. So some people were able to mine Caspa that were part of DAG Labs, as well as Polychain, because they knew about Caspa in the beginning, which is completely fair. As long as it was fair launched, anyone can do whatever they want. It was fair launched. Don't be upset that you didn't know about Caspa when it got launched. That's not a problem. One of his points at the very end is perfect timing to launch while miners were focused on big ETH profits. That's not even a point. Like, who cares? That's those miners' fault for not looking and researching other stuff. When Bitcoin got launched, who was mining it? Satoshi. Satoshi has over like 1 million Bitcoin, and no one's really complaining about that. Yes, he's never sold, but either way, if he did sell, a lot of Bitcoiners don't care because it doesn't matter. It's fair. He mined it fairly with other people who knew about the project in the beginning. This is completely fair launch. That's just what it is. So, like, that first claim is just not true. Also, a shout out to Liberated Potato in the Discord. He helps a ton with looking for information. But basically, to cover that first point, it says an unfair community launch. That term I've never heard before because it's just not true. The development and main net launch were known to the public from articles to Bitcoin Talk to Twitter. They were very open about Caspa launching, so it wasn't like a complete secret. And again, Polychain mined 800 million coins, and during the first 6 months, 7.89 billion coins were mined. Their hash rate couldn't have been higher than 10.14% on average then. And it's already been clear. So these controlling groups, along with the core team, heavily mined Caspa from day one, acquiring 90% of the mining revenue for 6 months before allowing retail participation. It's just not true. That fact is not true. During this period, the block reward remained at 500 Caspa, effectively stacking the odds against retail investors. The emission reduction was only implemented after the TextBit listing and the release of the SOAP video, which disadvantaged the retail investors. Again, this is just more claims that is just like, dude, like you're just upset that you didn't find Caspa in the beginning. Like if you found it, you would have got your computer and mined it with your CPU because it was CPU mineable in the beginning, just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin didn't have a bunch of exchanges when it got launched. It takes time. These new projects, they can't just automatically appear on exchanges. That's not how it works. So like anyone could have mined it at the time with a CPU because that's how it started. Furthermore, the original core team maintains complete control over the project, contradicting the claim of decentralization. This is probably the only claim that has a little bit of value. So again, open source, open network, just lack of understanding here. So one person said that like they can kind of agree on that point that, they claim decentralization, but they have complete control. But honestly, dude, it's like they don't have complete control. If you want to change something with Caspa, go ahead, go and fork the chain, create the new code. The problem is no one's going to join you. And why in the world would you go against the core team, they know what they're doing. I don't know how to code. I don't know how to do those things. Like, so it's like, why are you going to be upset that the core team, like, they don't have complete control. We vote on the things, but obviously the vision that was already laid out from the beginning is trying to be followed because the person behind the project knows what they're doing. Why would we go against what the person who made the project knows what they're doing? And mainly a big part of this is the only thing that people want is ASIC resistance. If you want ASIC resistance, go ahead and fork Caspa. No one would join you because if you really research Caspa and understand Caspa, Caspa is not supposed to be ASIC resistant. So the involvement of a former Bitmain manager, this is just not true. It's just a lot of these claims have just no evidence. He doesn't give me any evidence of this claim. So Caspa is permissionless. Anyone can mine with whatever they want. Caspa has a modified heavy hash algorithm that was created 24 hours before mainnet launch to prevent existing hardware from mining Caspa. Number 6 was a nothing burger, and his number 6 point was literally him saying that the lack of transparency and the ongoing stranglehold over the ecosystem by original core team and their associates raises concern about the project's integrity. This is just not true. I don't. There's tons of transparency. It is imperative that an audit and through investigation into the alleged unfair launch and control by these internal players take place to safeguard the future of Caspa. Caspa's fair launch, it was announced to Bitcoin Talk. Devs were actively on Twitter. It wasn't hidden in any way. Unfounded claims. This is tech leaks from Twitter. Only one guy talks like this. He sold at 0.0013. That's the guy that was complaining about Polychain a ton and saying that they're gonna dump on everybody. That guy sold at 0.0013, and I'm pretty sure he's missing out on tons of gains. But just people not doing their due diligence and researching are gonna keep trying to find things to just spread false information about Caspa. So given the series of these allegations, this last point makes me seem like this is just all like he's just pulling this out of like thin air. I don't even know. I don't even want to read the full point because it doesn't have any value to it. So here are some things that were going on in the beginning. So this is the monetary policy. This was announced in December of last year. So in the following dates, Caspa instigator hashtag, which is Jonathan, will publish a long post outlining a general philosophy regarding monetary policies and the cryptocurrency world in general, and how a deflationary economy fits into this vision. The bottom line of the post is the following concrete monetary policy. So the pre-deflationary phase. So this is the phase that Caspa had in the very beginning where it was 500 Caspa per second at the moment. And you could see this in the tokenomics. Yesterday's video kind of covers this a little bit, but you could see in the pre-deflationary phase, it was 500 Caspa per second. And it was every month was, a couple billion was mined every single month. About 1.3 billion was mined. So that's what was going on. Rewards will remain at a constant 500 cas per second. This stage will last until it has been 6 months since the network has started. The chromatic phase, in which block rewards geometrically decrease, the initial block reward will be 440 Caspa. The block reward will be halved once per year, but smoothly every month we will decrease the block reward by factor of this formula. And he kind of goes on to how this is all going to work. This was in December, how they were laying out how everything was going to work. And what did they do? They followed exactly how it was going to work. And then we went into the chromatic phase, and now we are reducing the rewards every single month. So I should also mention that DAG Labs mined those 800 million coins fairly by renting hash power, which costed them 6 figures. And that's why they eventually had to dissolve, because they ran out of money and there was no company. Again, it doesn't matter who mines Caspa in the beginning. As long as it was fair launched, then by all means, anyone can mine it. Everything is being done fairly. All this stuff has been transparent from the beginning. The information's all there. You just got to do your due diligence and research. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video covering some concerns when it comes to Caspa. Again, I'm always going to be making these videos. I'm probably going to make a series just called Risky Caspa. Every time I come across these kind of allegations and claims that Caspa is just like a scam and people don't understand it, whatever, I'll cover it. We got to understand our investment. We got to be able to have answers to any kind of concerning things when it comes to Caspa, because that's just what you do when you have an investment. You do your due diligence. You don't just blindly trust it and be like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it at all. No, you listen to other people's opinions, and that's how you can make your decisions on your investment. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. Don't be average. And as always, be different.